you never know this situation. And how you find out this situation, here's the golden nugget. You pick up the phone and you call the listing agent. Welcome to Rescale, where I share the lessons I've learned while building our firm into a leading residential investment service company. My hope is that you use these lessons to optimize your real estate business and or holdings, and maybe someday we can partner with you to help you grow even more. Hope you share and enjoy. Cheers. Hey everyone, and welcome to episode 4 of Rescale. My name is Scott Ottenreith. I am your host. Thank you so much for tuning in today. So what we'll be discussing is how to find great deals on Zillow or the MLS. Basically, how to find properties to buy for homes that are listed on the market for sale. And I think one of the first things that I like about this, especially from a newer investor perspective, or for someone that maybe isn't doing this full time, is it doesn't take a lot of resources to start. It doesn't take a lot of time or money to get going, right? All you need to do is go to Zillow, go to the MLS search, and set your criteria of where you want to buy and what you want to buy, like the property characteristics. And that way, whenever a new property gets listed or you want to see the homes that are listed for sale that apply to that criteria, they're right in front of you. I think obviously there are a ton of ways to find deals to buy, and none of them are particularly bad. I think it's, some are more time intensive and more capital intensive than others, right? You can do driving for dollars, where you drive and look for distressed houses. You can send mail out. You can cold call homeowner. Like, there's so many ways, and all of them do work. You just have to commit to actually spending the time. And this is no different than spending the time to find the right deal for the properties that are listed on the MLS. But the reality of it, the reality is that finding a good deal is not easy, and it doesn't happen like that, especially if you're kind of a one-man army, right? If you don't have like a team doing this every day full time. So it's going to take time no matter what you're doing. And again, I think this is a great option. One, I think it's a great option because obviously if they have the home listed for sale, they are willing to sell the property. Other channels are, you're hoping that they want to sell, and then two, beyond that, you got to find a price that works, and you got to draft like there's so many things that can get in the way. And while the conversion rate of getting a property that's listed for sale at the price that you need it, it's just one less thing that you have to worry about. That it's, they're ready to sell, and if you can make a deal work, great. All right, so it's an attractive option for that reason. Real quick, guys, if you happen to be an accredited investor and are interested in reviewing some details of our latest internal fund offering, click on the link below to get started. There are attractive opportunities we have access to in the current market, and believe if you're at least considering investing as an LP really in any fund, then it's probably worth your time. Once again, to apply, click on the link below. After submitting, our team will reach out within 24 hours. We look forward to working with you. Cheers. I think secondly is, a lot of people will worry about that you're actually getting a good deal, and I would really challenge that theory. We do a ton of purchases directly from the MLS, and there's a number of things that you can look for where maybe the listing agent hasn't marketed the property correctly. Maybe there's a pool that they didn't put in the photos, or the photos like aren't doing the property justice, or there's something that's off, right? So that's a way to get to identify hidden value. The other thing that you don't know what the seller situation is, right? Let's say the home is marketed perfectly, but maybe the seller's on a time crunch or on a money crunch where they need money now for who knows what. Maybe they have a difficult tenant. You never know this situation. And how you find out this situation, here's the golden nugget. You pick up the phone and you call the listing agent and say, "Hey, I'm Scott. I'm interested in this house. Do you know if the seller would entertain an investor offer?" And you're going to get a ton of no's, but guess what? You're going to get a ton of no's regardless. This is cold outreach. This is how this works. It doesn't happen like that. So you're going to it's going to take a lot of reps to actually find the one that works, But again, I think it's the easiest way to find a deal today, in my opinion. If you make enough calls today to agents for homes, I bet you can get a deal under contract. Truthfully, if you spend 4 hours, I bet you find a deal. Now you need to know what you're doing and kind of know the situation and know when to capitalize on it. But it's such you don't need to do anything on the front end. You just pick up the phone and you start calling. The other thing too is, people will worry about representation. And when I'm saying when you call the listing agent, you're offering for them to represent you as the buyer. And a lot of people will worry about the representation. And the way that you overcome that is you understand the contract and there's no gotchas, all that good stuff. So you need to make sure that the agent is doing things properly from the contract perspective. But a lot agents are incentivized to close deals, and they're going to be very incentivized to close it if you're letting them represent you as well, because then they can get both sides of the commission. So yeah, they're gonna do their darndest to make sure that they're gonna try to make a deal work. And again, this is not me saying that you're trying to take advantage of the seller. All I'm saying is you don't know the situation. So figure out the situations of the homes that fit your buy box by picking up the phone and calling the agent. Um, Again, like I said, we buy a ton of homes doing this exact same strategy. And typically we looked at the list price to where we actually bought it. And typically it was 10 to 12% below, and that's an average. So some are a little higher. Maybe, sometimes it's listed low and you just buy it at that price. And so you can still get great deals with this strategy. And let's say you call the agent and it doesn't really work, right? You can't make the numbers work. Guess what? You now have an agent who's probably talking to other sellers that you can build a relationship with that agent. And maybe when they come across another deal later, they'll send it to you, and then you get an off market deal and you get a first chance, right? So there's so many reasons that it makes sense to simply call listing agents, not only from the home itself to see maybe you may be able to buy it, but also from the relationship side. This business is about relationships at the end of the day, and you need to take care of the people you're working with. And by doing that, hopefully they take care of you. So if you get a no on the front end, fine. Guess what? You add that agent to kind of your army of deal people hunting for deals for you, because guess what? Again, they're incentivized to close deals. And if you're a willing, able, and ready buyer, they're going to think of you as long as you stay top of mind. So, yeah, again, if you are trying to find deals and you're looking at all these different deal channels, I would say try just calling agents. Call 10, 20 a day. And you're going to get probably 19 no's, probably 20 no's. And if you do that every day, all you need is one deal, because again, we're targeting home run deals. We don't want mediocre ones. We want great deals. So it's going to take time, but it's such an easy way. You have 20 minutes to spare, pull up Zillow, call the agents, just see what the situations are. And I bet you end up finding a deal doing that. And again, worst case, you have an agent that may be able to send you homes in the future that work for your criteria. So I think there's a lot of good reasons to do it. Again, none of these are easy, but at the same time, none of these are hard. It just takes time. So be patient. And I would just challenge, make some calls and see what happens. You never know. Thanks everyone for tuning in, and I'll catch you in the next episode. See ya.